Good evening and welcome to the broadcast here on KM Activities, your home for the Komets, as we welcome you to Cannon Falls for tonight's contest. I'm just checking out the stream too as the Kasson Komets hit the road. Cannon Falls, the Bombers come in with a record of 10-7 on the season, and then they are 2-6 in the Hiawatha Valley. For the Kasson Komets, they're 7-8 and 2-5 in the Hiawatha Valley. Head coaches Josh Davison is the head coach for the Cannon Falls Bombers, and for the Kasson Komets, it's Nick Pocius. These two teams, well, in section play, they won't see each other because Cannon Falls is in 2A and Kasson is in 3A. They battled in this first contest of the season back in December 20th due to the fact that they're on same sides of the Hiawatha Valley. They have the rematch, so it was a close one last time, 64-53 back on December 10th. So now they're battling in what is the second. The Komets were actually down just 2 at halftime. Bigelow finished the night with 18 points and 7 rebounds. Jennison had 11. Couldn't find anything on the Bombers on that evening. Coach Pocius, though, mentioned to me they had 19 turnovers in that ball game, which really hurt the Komets from trying to make a second half comeback. And for Cannon Falls, I don't know a ton about the Bombers. They have found the switch to explode the last 2 games, though. Bombers began 2020 going 1-5. They had 4 straight losses from January 7th to January 24th until a pair of wins back-to-back over Ellsworth Saturday and Triton Tuesday. I will say 2 of the Cannon Falls defeats were to Lake City and Stewartville, leaders of the Hiawatha Valley divisions. Senior Luke Showquist will be the Komets' biggest challenge tonight. The 6'3 guard tops the Bombers lineup in scoring, around 16 points per game. We witnessed how Jake Broughton of Byron got loose on Cam last Friday. Kasson has to keep Showquist out of the paint and not allow him to control the game. And then there's a lot of role players here. Drew Audie, a senior, Marcus Banks, a junior, Rhett Schaefer, senior, are all averaging right around that 10 points per game. I mean, it really depends on which night you look at. Which night a Bomber got hot. But I don't know their game and strengths and weaknesses. When I talked to Coach Davison, he did mention that they are inconsistent, a lot like Kasson Mantorville when it comes to that. So, especially offensively, he said they don't show enough patience on offense. Boy, we've heard Coach Pocius mention some of the similarities there, certainly throughout our interviews of Coach Pocius during this season. But, and that's where this team, the Bombers, one thing that they have excelled in is the fact that they have scored a few more points per game. They're averaging about 10 more points per game than the Kasson Komets. That's really the only main stat that I could give you from looking up everything. Cannon Falls, their point differential, they're a +4 on average for their games, even sitting at 10-7. Now you figure maybe that'd be a little lower, but actually a +4 is pretty good. When you look at Kasson Mantorville, they're at a -3.2. So, I mean, they are right there. Both teams right there as far as their point differential per game. That means that on average, Kasson Mantorville is losing games by a -3 every time they hit the court. Cannon Falls is winning by just +4. But, I mean, their records very similar. Cannon Falls 10-7 due to those 2 back-to-back wins. Kasson Mantorville 7-8. And so I do wonder about offensively. Kasson Mantorville at times, some of their role players can't quite find the hoop just at those key moments. They take good shots. I'm not saying that. Much like the Byron game, they took really good shots. They just couldn't quite come up with anything as far as getting things down in the hoop. Just making shots at those key moments. And I do think the Komets also need to win the rebounding battle. It's something that Coach Pocius had mentioned, especially during a good quality stretch of wins for the Komets. They were winning the rebounding battle. That has swayed to the opponent's side. That's got to come up tonight. Cannon Falls, a lot of height in the lineup, and Bigelow, Knoll, and other guards can't allow offensive boards. If the Komets can control the boards, they have a great chance of earning a much-needed Hiawatha Valley win. For the Kasson Komets, well, hold that thought. I need to take a break. We want to thank Bigelow Homes for being our major sponsor for all activities taking place here on KM Activities. Cannon Falls hosting the Kasson Komets, and we'll talk about the KM Komets boys basketball here in just a moment on KM Activities.
Tradition and excellence are the staple of every project constructed by Bigelow Homes. Jeremy, Joel, Tony, and the rest of the crew deliver homes with innovative and affordable design, building around you and your needs. Bigelow Homes will design and build the home of your dreams with peace of mind and personal touch. Based out of Rochester, Bigelow Homes has housing developments in 10 different communities. Find out what makes Bigelow Homes special by calling 507-529-1161 or visit online at bigelowhomes.net.
This winter's sports broadcast on KM Activities is sponsored by McKern Financial in Kasson. Tax season is just around the corner, and McKern Financial can assist with all your tax preparations. Call 507-634-4307 to set up an appointment. Home Federal Savings Bank is a full-service bank offering personal and business banking options plus the convenience of online and mobile banking. And keep up with the latest on the KM School District on Twitter by following KM Schools. Home Federal Savings Bank, McKern Financial, and the Kasson Mantorville School District are proud sponsors of the KM Activities YouTube channel.
Welcome back here on KM Activities. Kasson Mantorville and the Cannon Falls Bombers. The Kasson Mantorville Komets led Byron at half a week ago by 2. The second half went to the Bears, and the KM Komets couldn't hit the key shots, eventually falling 64-51. Byron started hitting shots from deep, and Jake Broughton, as I mentioned, drove the lane for several buckets. A key stat from a week ago, Kasson Mantorville shot 50% for the free throw line. That just can't happen. The Komets have to start converting at a higher level when given chances at the charity stripe. Senior Jordan Kern got off to a fantastic start over at Byron and finished the evening with a team-high 15. I love that Kern had enough confidence to fire when open. He didn't really cool down so much as the Bears started closing in on him. The other Komet who was a lightning rod was Easton Knoll, scoring 7 to begin the game. Once again, though, the issue was not finding the hoop after halftime. Knoll capped the night with 9. It's not enough when teams are keen on Jace Bigelow. Byron had a pretty darn good defensive game plan on Bigelow, who had never found a groove. The Bears made Jace work just to touch the basketball, which made the Komets force action to someone else. Bigelow gets a ton of credit for still managing 11 points. KM still didn't pound the rock enough to Jennison either. Alex needs an aggressive streak and gain some positioning. I think if the Komets can get some points on the low block, things will open up. It leads to my question of the night for the Kasson Mantorville Komets. How many points will Sandino and Alex Jennison have at the end of the first half? So they're going to have the national anthem, and then we'll get to our starters and keys from both coaches as they provided those. National anthem over with. Not a live rendition, though. I will say that. That's.
And now our starting lineup. First of all,
The Kasson Mantorville Komets coming in. at a record of 7-8, then Cannon Falls at 10-7. Both of them in the same division, so Hiawatha Valley Gold Conference, Stewartville 8-1, Leeward 5-3, Pine Island 5-4, then Byron at 4-4, and then these two teams, Kasson Mantorville and Cannon Falls. For the starters for this evening, he's running through all the Komets, so we'll do the same thing. Kasson Mantorville and head coach Nick Pocius. Number 2, junior, 6'3", Jace Bigelow. Senior, 6'5", number 4, Jaron Sandino. Senior, 6 foot, number 5, Easton Knoll. Tyler Wolfiles, a senior at 6'2", and he wears number 15. And the last one, Alex Jennison, senior, 6'5", number 34. I got no camera person tonight either, so I'll be moving the camera back and forth for you. Komets are in their white jerseys and blue lettering and white shorts with a little blue trim down the side. For the Cannon Falls Bombers and head coach Josh Davison. Junior, 6'3", number 3, Marcus Banks. Senior, 6 foot, number 5, Rhett Schaefer. Senior, 6'4", number 15, Drew Audie. Senior, 6'3", number 21, Luke Shoquist. And Camden Dickey rounds it out. He's a junior, 6'5", number 23. Komets tonight. Keys, consistent offense. Stop turning the ball over because they had 19 of them the last time they played the Bombers. And then make those defensive changes. You're going to notice that the Komets are going to make some defensive changes throughout. They want to do it every possession. We'll see if that happens. On the other side for Coach Davison, he mentioned contain penetration, box out, and patience offensively. So those were the keys for the game from both coaches. Again, no camera person, so I'll try to do the best I can to swing that camera back and forth while also calling the action. The Kasson Mantorville Komets, remember they have the showcase tomorrow night, so at 7 o'clock it's the Komets taking on the New Ulm Eagles, and that'll be at 7 p.m., and we'll be bringing you that one right here on KM Activities. KM Activities 2 tonight. Yes, we have a secondary YouTube channel that has the girls' basketball game against Cannon Falls. More than likely, this thing is up at the Commons area at the girls' basketball game. The jump comes, and it'll be won by the Bombers with Rhett Schaefer to bring it across the timeline. We'll see who shows patience on offense right away. Banks had a touch, and back to Schaefer, quarter court. Komets sit in their 2-3 defense right now in their zone. High post pass, and it's a touch there for Dickey, and he ends up losing the ball and maybe making a shot. I'm not sure exactly what happened there. Noah on the outside, then stops at quarter court. Fed off over to Wolfile, and then back to Sandino. Noah inside to Jennison. That's right where you want him, and he gets blocked from behind on the shot attempt, and the Cannon Falls Bombers bring it back across. They go to the wing to Schaefer for now. Komets stay in their 2-3 zone at the moment. Kick out into the corner, and Shoquist with his deep three-pointer in the corner. It's no good and out of bounds. It'll stay with Cannon Falls. Shoquist averaging 16 points per game. That is the high for the Bombers. Cannon Falls in their black jerseys and white lettering with red trim around that, black shorts, and then the white trim down the bottom. Alex Jennison on a tip from the inbound. Ball keeps loose, and it's picked up by Tyler Wolfile. Thought about a pass, and then that would have been stolen away. Instead, it comes to Bigelow on the wing. Dribbling all the way inside. Sandino is standing right in front of him, and they collide for the turnover. Be a travel violation on the Komets. Inbounding is Schaefer over the far side. Komets bring on a 1-2-2 press. Back and forth between Shoquist and Schaefer, and now they get it all the way down to Banks. Banks stops and takes an 18-footer. It's no good. Rebound, Kasson Mantorville, and Jennison up ahead. That pass is to the knees of Wolfile. Wolfile back to the top of the key, circling around Bigelow. Spin move in the paint. Still could get a shot up. He instead passes out to Knoll. Bigelow driving all the way in. Wolfile in the corner. Still no shot for the Komets. Long possession. We've played a minute and a half. No points on the board from either. Bigelow now just drives all the way in, and a little layup goes in. Nice adjustment by Jace on his way to the hoop. Komets take off the press this time. 16 minutes to go, first half. 2-0 after the Komets got the score from Bigelow. Corner, and this is a drive for Shoquist. He lost it. And Jennison ends up losing it as well, right back over. Deep three-pointer on the wing, and Audie hits to start the Cannon Falls Bombers offense. And points on the board for them. Noel has it. Looks off and then passes to Jennison. Bigelow, corner, takes the screen from Jennison. Wrapping back around. Wolfow's open at the free throw line. Just a little too strong. Jennison trying to manage to get the rebound. And we'll have a foul call. That'll be the first on the Bombers.
Foul on Banks, his first, team third.
And the foul comes on Marcus Banks. Bigelow out to wing three. Deep three-pointer. He wasn't ready to pull the trigger on a three, Mendes, so we'll have to wait on that, but he hits it to go anyway. And the Komets lead 5-3. Try to bring a trap, and then rotating the ball nicely is the Bombers all the way to the far corner with an Audi touch, then back over. Three-pointer for Marcus Banks, and he answers. So Marcus Banks answers, and it's 6-5. Cannon Falls up by the point. Jace Bigelow with some fancy dribbling out at the top of the key. Got it off to Wolfile, then hand off to Noel. Bigelow at the elbow, picked up his dribble, comes back out. Noel on the wing three. No, rebound. Wolfile fought with it, and it ends up, and nice steal by Easton Noel. They got numbers. And Tyler Wolfile is blocked from behind. And they get it all the way down, and a layup on the other side for the Bombers with Shoquist. Love the steal by Easton Noel. And they had a 3-on-1, but it wasn't really spread out. 8-5, Bombers leading, and Jace Bigelow feeling it? No, misses that one off the side of the hoop. Out of bounds, and it will be the Bombers basketball. Trap comes, but they pass it off, and Schaefer back over to Shoquist. Now Schaefer, now they go to the middle, which is right where you want to go. Pass goes over to the corner. Audi driving the baseline. Comes back over on the wing, and Shoquist, and he hits. So Luke Shoquist, Audi, and Banks have all hit three-pointers, giving the Cannon Falls Bombers an 11-5 advantage. We've just went under 14 minutes to go first half. Oh, Wolfile's going to have to watch that handoff. He almost traveled with it. Came back out with Noel. Wolfile, perimeter pass to Jennison. Looking inside to Santa. No, it's not open. Now Bigelow. Bigelow kicks over to Wolfile. Three! Mendes for Tyler Wolfile. 11-8. Kasson Mantorville trails. Way far out is Banks. They go back to the corner, and another three-pointer for Drew Audi. 14-8. Both teams feeling it from deep. Kasson Mantorville 2 of 3, and good defense brought on by Schaefer. Noel is able to get away from him. Now Bigelow over on the wing. Opening things up to the paint. Sandino back off to Bigelow. Bigelow gets caught on the baseline, had nowhere to go. Sandino not rolling with him because it would have brought a trap, and instead Cannon Falls gets Bigelow to pass it off to them, and a turnover by the Komets. Outside Schaefer nearing the jump circle. High post pass to Dickey. Over to the far side. Shoquist, skip pass, and right wing. He's hit a couple, make it now 3. Drew Audi has 3 three-pointers in the first 4.5 minutes of our game. 12:33 to go. And the Kasson Mantorville Komets call the 30-second timeout. The Komets with that timeout. 17-8. I'm going to have to close out a little bit more on Drew Audi. Audi averaging right around that 13 mark. Other games happening in the Hiawatha Valley tonight. Byron is at Pine Island. Goodhue is hosting Lansboro. Leward is at Stewartville in a great matchup. And then Triton is at ZM. And then for the Komets, with 102 games going on, they have several section teams that are playing. Winona, Albert Lee, Simley, and Faribault all in action tonight. So that most of their, except for Austin, most of the Komet section teams are playing this evening. Jordan Claypool is subbed in for the first time after that timeout. High post pass to Bigelow, back over to Noel on the wing. Wolfile goes to the corner, takes the three. He hits! So Tyler Wolfile connected on 2 of them. He's only taken 2. 17-11. Komets need a defensive stop, though. Out for another three-pointer. It's no good. Saving it, though, is Audie. The three-pointer taken by Dickey. All the way to the volleyball line is Banks. Claypool guarding him. A little man-on-man action now for the Komets. Far side, Dickey. Oh, Wolfile gambled on it. Sjoquist at the free throw line, and he takes it. And makes it. 19-11. Claypool and Knoll playing keep away from the Bombers on the outside. Wolfile, who just hit the three-pointer, had to pass it off. And Claypool going to take a deep three-pointer, and it rattles through. So Jordan Claypool. Down on the baseline, passes out on the wing. Sjoquist, he had a good look. No good, but 2 Bombers are there. They actually fought over the basketball. Luckily enough for the Komets, but now a steal by Audie. He'll go down, and he's fouled from behind by Claypool. And it'll be free throws coming for Drew Audie, who already has 9 points of the 19 that the Bombers have put up at 10:44 left before halftime. 19-14 is the score. Bombers leading by 5. And now the free throw is coming. That foul is on Claypool, and that would be his first. Audie good on the first free throw attempt, so now he has 50% of the Bombers' points. 10, and the Bombers have 20. Subbing in for the first time is Nick Boltina, a name I'm awfully familiar with, actually. Boltina, heard that name back at Webster City, Iowa. Didn't know if he had any family there, and Audie connects on the second one to make it 21-14. Bigelow on the outside to Wolfile. Carter Nelson is just subbed in. Wolfile still looking inside to Sandino. Entry pass, but Boltina comes over, knocks that one out of the air and out of bounds on the baseline. Tight gym here at Cannon Falls. Not a lot of room on the baseline as well as the sideline. In fact, there's really no room on the sideline. Wolfile back over to Bigelow on the wing. Wolfile takes a screen from Bigelow, passes off to Nelson, far side Claypool. He'll take a screen from Sandino, hesitation dribble, nothing open, and now Nelson. Komets have to continue to show patience, though. Can't force action, and Carter Nelson with a great drive inside. On the left, his left-handed layup, though, just falls out. 21-14, Cannon Falls leading. And they have the basketball. Backing all the way up is Schaefer. Boltina driving in. Jace Bigelow on the steal. Coming all the way down. Left-handed layup is good. He had to slow his pace and watch the Bomber on his hip. But he puts it through. Nelson trying to apply pressure. Schaefer gets past him. Now kicks to the corner. Dribbling back is Sjoquist. Body going left. Shot to the right. No good, but an offensive rebound by Dickey. Komets setting up their half-court set. Wolfile. Claypool, then Bigelow. I can hear Coach Pocious yelling 4 out. Jordan Kern at the scorer's table will be subbing in at the next dead ball. Wolfile has come to the jump circle just to get the basketball. And now the kick to the corner to Claypool. Looking for an opening. Had to back off, though. Back over to Bigelow. Bigelow trying to go one-on-one in attack. And he does, but then lost the handle as he went up. I don't know if that's a shot, a turnover, or a shot and a turnover. 23-16, 7-point lead and a deep 2 taken by Dickey. That one no good. Oh, I'm sorry, that was Sjoquist on that shot. For the Komets, they move things around. Looking for a good shot. Carter Nelson. Good patience being shown by the Komets. They just can't seem to get anything open. Baseline cut would probably be there, but you'd have to manage to get by everyone. A head fake for Bigelow and a floating shot banked in. Banks always open. You can hit the ATM on the drive-through. Coming all the way down on a baseline drive. Bombers go quickly with Shoquist. Foul by Wolfile. That'll be his first. Team second. Bombers only have one. That's on Marcus Banks. Can't tell if Banks and Dickey are at the scores table to come in. They are. Komets have 3 guys to come in. So out is Schaefer as well as Audie, and that changes for the Bombers. Grant Meck also in for the first time. With the substitutions, it's Kern, Jennison, Claypool, Knoll, and Nelson for the Komets. 25-18, a 7-point advantage for Cannon Falls. Nelson on the wing. Little head fake, trying to get away, and now a pass that goes into the hands of Banks, who just subbed in. Banks going up, and he's fouled. Little undercut by Carter Nelson, and that's who they're going to call the foul on. Banks used that length of 6'3" to reach around Carter Nelson, who stands at 5'10". And so Cannon Falls back at the free throw line. And through for Marcus Banks. This is where someone else has to step up and start taking shots. Jordan Kern did against Byron. 2 through for Marcus Banks. Cannon Falls with a 9-point lead now. 27-18, clock moving, 7.5 to go before halftime. Claypool on the outside, Nelson. Jordan Kern takes a screen from Jennison. Oh, now there's the rub. Jennison was actually open on that screen and roll. They couldn't quite get it to him, though. Good fronting done by Dickey. Now they can look for Jennison, and Knoll had it popped away. It's done by Shoquist. Shoquist going all the way down. The layup is blocked by Knoll. Saved, though, on the baseline by Boltina. So Cannon Falls still has it on their possession. Clock moves under 7. 27-18. Turnaround shot in the paint is no good for Grant Meck. Rebound, Kasson Mantorville. See if they can trim in the lead and get a good shot. Kern going to take 3. Mendez for Jordan Kern, who had 15 against Byron last week. He was the game high as Jace Bigelow comes to the scores table, ready to sub in the next dead ball for the Komets. 27-21. Komets trying to close out on all shooters. They get there a little late in the corner to Shoquist. And Shoquist makes them pay for it. He's got 12. Komets with Carter Nelson. Claypool taking the screen from Jennison, rotating and rolling to the bucket. Good feed by Claypool to Jennison as well. I'd like to see that a little bit more often, trying to attack. And Jennison was late, though, getting in behind Boltina, and he's going to get called for a foul as Cannon Falls went to set up their offense. Bigelow in for Jordan Claypool, put some good minutes in. And I like the sophomore's game. I think there's no secret about that. I've talked about it several times. Schaefer on the inbound. Comes to Grant Meck, now rotating the ball back around. 3-pointer in the corner. No good for Banks. And the Komets are fighting for a rebound, and we get a foul on Schaefer. That's Cannon Falls' second foul. Walking it up is Carter Nelson. Pass over the far side to Kern. Off to Knoll. Hand off Bigelow. He has a screen to his right. Takes it. Now back over to Kern. Kern going to fire another 3-pointer. It's no good. Rebound comes to Cannon Falls. They don't have numbers, though, so they'll slow down and set up their half-court set. Schaefer jumps to the top of the key. Corner pass to Banks. He looked to go to the baseline. Had to feed it back off, though. Comes over to Meck. They just play keep away on the outside. Screen comes for Meck, and then he gets it back over to the right side. Dribbling out, and the pass to the wing to Banks. He hesitated, didn't take. 7-point lead for Cannon Falls, and I think we have a timeout. A 30-second timeout for Cannon Falls. 30-23 our score.
Bomber, 30-second timeout.
For the Kasson Komets. As I mentioned, they have that showcase here tonight. There's boys hockey, varsity versus Wyndham. That's taking place now. Girls basketball versus Cannon Falls. As I said, that's on the YouTube channel too. Dance varsity at Byron. They were having their meet tonight. Several teams over there. And then gymnastics at La Crescent. That started at 6:30. Big day tomorrow. There's a lot to get to. I'll try to run down the Saturday activities for you sometime for halftime. I'll have a lot to talk about. We have a lot going on right here on KM Activities, too. The timeout, under 5 minutes now. First half, 30-23. Komets trailing. Audie on the right wing. Pass off Banks. Looking to now dribbles with his left. Can't find much. Back over to Schaefer, who has yet to take a shot. And then a pass underneath goes off the hands of Grant Meck. Turnover on Cannon Falls. Komets will take it. Now they had to use it, though. Extra possession right here. And getting a stop. Need to score off of something. Kern, screen to his right, takes it with Jennison. And that pass looked at Bigelow over to the corner, but it's actually Jennison that was open. Rotate that ball back over. On the screen and roll. Would have been there. Screen by Jennison. Now he's not going to roll because Bombers really shut that down. Bigelow trying to look inside to Jennison. Jennison on a late screen. He almost got called for an illegal screen. Bigelow trying to get to the baseline. Good feet. That's good defense brought on by Banks, not allowing him. Now Jennison out to Kern. Kern going to fire another three-pointer short. Kern's body language also going away from the hoop when he shoots his three-pointer. That's not what you want to do. You got to rise up, square those shoulders, and hit. That's how he hit his first one. He does have 3 points. Backdoor cut. They find Marcus Banks. Fed by Schaefer. Cannon Falls pads the lead to 9. And now a steal over on the far side by Schaefer. He'll try to drive in. And he just managed to find. Boy, that ball got tipped up. I don't know if that was Jennison that actually tipped it. Marcus Banks had the first shot. Second one went off the hoop, and I think it might have been actually Jennison that had that. We're not calling a shooting foul. And they'll call Alex Jennison for his second. Not a shooting foul, so stay with Cannon Falls, about to inbound it on the baseline. It's the near side, right where it says Bombers by the S. 32-23. They get it in off the inbound to Showquist, but he missed the layup. Claypool down already as he just substituted back in for Kasson Mantorville. Claypool dribbling. Far side, Bigelow. Screen to his left, Sandino. Bounce pass to him, but it's a little behind, and it's stolen away by Dickey. Cannon Falls forcing Kasson Mantorville to do some things. That's not working out for the Komets right now. Far side, Showquist, who's in double figures. He cuts back inside. His body language heading towards the hoop, and a little floating shot goes through. 34-23. Bigelow wanted to attack. Thought he might have numbers. Bombers converged, and he had to get rid of it. Back out Bigelow. Sandino on the screen. Oh, top of the key three-pointer. Thought about it. Now Claypool. Claypool, that one poked away by Schaefer. Had to regain his composure. Comes back over. Wolfile. Now to Knoll. Nobody really, not much cutting. Bigelow trying to get inside. Again with the hand check. A nice movement by Banks with his feet. He really stays in front of Bigelow. And this is time where it's poked away by Schaefer. He'll try to go down. Layup is no good, but they will call foul on Tyler Wolfile. Wolfile, that'll be his second. The Komets then sixth. So one more, and that'll be the bonus for Cannon Falls. They lead 34-23, 155 first half. No good on the first for Schaefer. Schaefer, I have him averaging right around 10, although he hasn't even taken a field goal until just there. Holacek in for Wolfile, who's got those two. Don't want to pick up a cheapo before intermission. Schaefer one more, and it hits the rim 4 times on the side, in fact, and then falls through. That's his first point, and it gives a 12-point advantage to Cannon Falls. Kasson needing a bucket desperately right now. Bigelow at the elbow. That closed too by Banks. Now Holacek, baseline dribble and can't find it. Sandino not on the offensive rebound either, and dribbling all the way in. Schaefer. Brett Schaefer got past Easton Knoll. 37-23. Holacek uses a screen from Sandino. Claypool wanted a backdoor cut. It wasn't open. Now Knoll on the far side. A lot of body contact there off of Schaefer. He's crafty with his hands. Somebody got to come to Knoll. Now Holacek. Driving all the way in and a Euro step. Got him free, but he shoots it too hard off the backboard. Numbers for Cannon Falls. Blocked by Bigelow. Called on the body contact. Showquist heading to the free throw line. Referee had a better advantage than I did, but that did look like a lot of ball. 37-23. I tend not to talk about the officials, though. Like I said, he had a better vantage point. And Bigelow might have got him on the way up. First one was good, 38-23, 55 seconds before half. Second one for Showquist is through, well into double figures now. That'll be the game high when we get to that point. Bigelow driving all the way in. And now they call a foul. A little late whistle on that, but Bigelow did have contact and had to kind of fling it up there. Didn't have the best angle due to the contact. That's why he couldn't make the shot. Does get the foul on Grant Meck. And Jace Bigelow at the foul line. And he switches through the first. Bigelow with 10. Bring back Jordan Kern. Sandino out. One more coming off the fingertips of Bigelow. Found out he's about less than 20 points away from hitting 900. Coach mentioned to me he's about 867 right now for his career. Have a chance maybe by the end. He should get there. And he's averaging 20, so should be able to get to 900, maybe not to 1,000. And a backdoor cut. That was open. Kick back out. Good rotation. Audie thought about a three-pointer. The Cannon Falls Bombers showing a long possession due to the fact that there's only 15 seconds remaining in the half. Trying to get this final shot. On the right side, Dickey, and then back out, though, Schaefer. They have the hands. Schaefer, corner, Dickey. Didn't get a shot off. Claypool's going to nudge him as Schaefer was going towards the hoop. With Jordan Claypool, that's his second, and it'll be 1-1. So Rhett Schaefer, who hit 1 out of 2 the first time, hits the front end, and he'll get one more. 40-25, 3.8 left before halftime. This could be a momentum swing, though, if the Komets can get a good shot off after the made free throw. And now Claypool, who's open, they had to close out on him. 3-2-1, shot is good! And they will count it. So Claypool gets that shot off. He ends up with 5 in the first half, and the Komets, though, trail 41-27 as they go to the locker room. And we will take a timeout to thank our fine sponsors. Boy, some shoddy camera work. Should fire the camera guy. Keep the play-by-play guy, though. We'll come back here in just a moment. 41-27, Kasson Mantorville trailing the Cannon Falls Bombers in the Hiawatha Valley. Come back with some stats. I'll break things down for you. Here on KM Activities, your home for the Komets.
For 40 years, you've been counting on Bigelow Homes to develop and construct new homes all around southeast Minnesota. Jeremy, Joel, and Tony, along with the rest of the crew, focus on you, making sure every detail is perfect. Bigelow Homes is waiting for your call to assist you in building the home you want. Call 507-529-1161 to discuss your options. More information is also available online at bigelowhomes.net. Bigelow Homes, a proud supporter of the Kasson Mantorville Komets.
This winter sports broadcast on KM Activities is sponsored by McKern Financial in Kasson. Tax season is just around the corner, and McKern Financial can assist with all your tax preparations. Call 507-634-4307 to set up an appointment. Home Federal Savings Bank is a full-service bank offering personal and business banking options plus the convenience of online and mobile banking. And keep up with the latest on the KM School District on Twitter by following KM Schools. Home Federal Savings Bank, McKern Financial, and the Kasson Mantorville School District are proud sponsors of the KM Activities YouTube channel.
Tradition and excellence are the staple of every project constructed by Bigelow Homes. Jeremy, Joel, Tony, and the rest of the crew deliver homes with innovative and affordable design, building around you and your needs. Bigelow Homes will design and build the home of your dreams with peace of mind and personal touch. Based out of Rochester, Bigelow Homes has housing developments in 10 different communities. Find out what makes Bigelow Homes special by calling 507-529-1161 or visit online at bigelowhomes.net.
This is Nick Posh's head boys basketball at Kasson Mantorville High School, and you are watching Komet Basketball on KM Activities.
Head coach Nick Poshis is taking his boys to the locker room at the moment. And the Kasson Mantorville Komets down 41-27 as it is halftime here at Cannon Falls. Here's your statistics from the first half. As the Bombers hit 6 of 10 from three-pointers. They've won at the free throw line too. 11 of 12. 7 points for Marcus Banks. Brett Schaefer of 5. 11 for Drew Audie. 16 for Luke Shilquist and 2 from Camden Dickey. No bench points. Just one shot actually from the bench. That was Grant Meck. For the Kasson Mantorville Komets, Jace Bigelow with 11, 6 for Tyler Wolfile, 2 for Alex Jennison, 3 for Jordan Kern, and 5 for Jordan Claypool. So they get 11 off the 8 off the bench, and then Jennison and Tyler Wolfile team up for 8 more, and you got Jace Bigelow with 11. Komets go 2 of 2 at the foul line, 5 of 8 from downtown. So you look at it, they're down by 14 and are a -9 when it comes to free throws, as Cannon Falls hit 11 and the Kasson Mantorville Komets had 2, and then one more three-pointer for Cannon Falls at 6 and 5 for the Kasson Mantorville Komets. Komets trying to move up the ladder a little bit in the Hiawatha Valley, need a conference victory. I mentioned Stewartville, Leward are 1 and 2. Stewartville 8 and 1. Leward 5 and 3. Then Pine Island 5 and 4. Byron 4 and 4. Kasson Mantorville 2 and 5. Then Cannon Falls at 2 and 6. On the other side for the Blue Conference, it's Lake City at 9 and 0. Goodhue at 6 and 3. Followed by Zumbrota Mazeppa 3 and 7. Triton 2 and 6. Kenny Wanamingo 0 for 7. Section 3, or I should say Section 1 of Class 3A, Austin, Byron, Winona, Kasson Mantorville, Simley, Albert Lee, Red Wing, and Faribault. Those are the Komets' postseason opponents. Byron at Pine Island. Winona traveled to John Marshall. Owatonna hosting Albert Lee. Hastings came to Simley, and Faribault is at Mayo. Other games happening in the Hiawatha Valley. Well, I mentioned Leward and Stewartville highlights things tonight. And then Triton's at ZM. Goodhue is hosting Lansboro in a non-conference game. Kasson Mantorville, the boys basketball showcase. It'll start up early. JV 9 o'clock, varsity 11. Komets will hit the gym of the Home Federal Arena, the floor there, at 7 p.m. against New Ulm. We'll cover that one for you right here on KM Activities. Other things that are happening. Well, here on KM Activities, we'll have the wrestling. JV varsity at Owatonna. They'll wrestle St. Michael Albertville around 1:30 is the scheduled time for that, followed by the duel with Owatonna. Girls hockey, it's senior night. JV's at 1 o'clock versus Hutchinson, followed by the 3 p.m. puck drop of the Wildcats versus Hutchinson on senior night. Good luck, ladies, in that. Boys hockey tonight was taking on Windham, as I said. Girls basketball varsity versus Cannon Falls going on right now. Dance varsity at Byron, and then gymnastics, they had their meet at La Crescent. Saturday, boys basketball, 7th and 8th grade at Byron. The Section 1 one-act play, boy, if you want to see some talent, that one-act play at Kasson Mantorville, they'll perform at the Minnesota Wi-Fi Performing Arts Center, and that'll start at 9 a.m., or let's see. Yeah, I believe it's 9 a.m. in the morning. There's also speech at the Kasson Mantorville Middle School at 9 a.m., so a lot more than just basketball and wrestling and hockey and literally everything else. So a lot going on for tomorrow. Komets are back out on the floor here at Cannon Falls. About 3 minutes left. I think I covered everything. Boys basketball showcase, talked about that. Class 3A, top 10 teams. Minnehaha Academy is number 1, followed by Mankato East, De La Salle, Totino Grayson, Marshall are your top 5. Laconia, Delano, Austin, St. Peter, and Richfield round out the top 10. And for Cannon Falls, boy, their Section 1 is going to be tough. Lake City, Stewartville sitting there. Leward is also there. So there's some really good talent in Section 1 of Class 2A. Cannon Falls coming out those 2 wins over Ellsworth and Triton, trying to get the sweep over the Kasson Mantorville Komets in the Hiawatha Valley. For Kasson Mantorville sitting at 7 and 8, 2 and 5. They have lost 3 straight since beating Pine Island 65-61. Lost to Lake City 71-45. Great. I mean, that's a really, really good team of Lake City. State potential there. Goodhue, they lost by 4, 48-44, and then lost to Byron last Friday 64-51. As I said, they were up 3 at halftime. Kern with the 15 and Bigelow with 11. And really, you look back at that Goodhue game where they lost by 4, they were down by 12 at halftime. And they trimmed it all the way to 3 and had the basketball. In Pine Island, they used that hot 3-point shooting to begin the first half. They shot about 70-some% in the first half of that game. And that's really kind of what propelled them to the win against Pine Island. Need to have that again tonight in the second half. Had good shooting in the first half, no doubt. 5 of 8 from deep. It's just Cannon Falls got to the free throw line a little bit more and hit one more three-pointer. They shot 60% at 6 of 10 from three-point land. So both teams shot fairly well in that first half. Komets just going to need some defensive stops, got a hold on the basketball, and start trimming in that lead. But it's going to start on the defensive end now. You're down 41-27. Going to have to clamp down on the defensive side and really make Cannon Falls work for their shots. They let Shilquist hit too many open three-pointers to start the game. Then he started to dribble drive and mix things up on the Komets. So I really think it starts on the defensive end, and then no offensive rebounds. They're already down by 14. Can't give them extra possessions as we head to the second half. Looks like it'll be the Komets basketball as the official stands at the half-court line. 2 and 5 in the Hiawatha Valley, and Cannon Falls sitting there at 2 and 6. Both teams have had their struggles up and down throughout the season. Jace Bigelow will inbound it to Easton Knoll. Starters for the Kasson Mantorville Komets back out. Bigelow, Sandino, and Knoll will file. Actually, take that back. No Sandino. It's going to be Claypool. Jordan Claypool getting some minutes. So Noel, Wolfile, Jennison, Bigelow, and Claypool. They go inside to Jennison, who's muscling his way in. Lost the handle. Saved it on the baseline. Back out Wolfile, and things will reset with Noel. This near side to Claypool. This crowd can help out the Komets, too. Need to get loud. Claypool on the right wing. Right now I can hit our pin drop between the two of them, and this is bad entry feed. I thought that might have been tipped off of Audie. It was not, and out of bounds. So Komets start with exactly not what Coach Pocius wanted in 30 seconds. And driving all the way in, staying straight up on the Showkiss drive was Jennison, so shot no good. Back over to come the Komets. Bigelow, quarter court, keeps his dribble alive, then hands it off. Wolfile takes a screen from Jennison, going all the way in, and a scoop layup. Good by the 6'2" senior. Pardon me, he's got 8. On the near side for Showquist. They have their starters out too. Banks, Schaefer, Audie, Showquist, and Dickey. Dickey at the high post, comes back to the corner to Banks, and everything rotates around. Schaefer out of touch. Now Audie for 3. He missed that one. Claypool there for the rebound. Nearly poked away by Banks from behind, but Claypool stayed strong and managed the possession. Come back over to Wolfile. Had that nice layup last time. Now Noel takes. They just left him alone. Jennison fighting for the rebound. And an outlet pass going to be intercepted by Noel. It's going to move the camera, but I'm not going to now as the Komets have it back. Bigelow driving all the way in reverse layup. I think he got hit in the face as well going in. That was Easton Noel's first shot attempt of the evening, too. So I'd like to see him get a little bit more aggressive. Komets down by 10 now, 41-31. Got a couple of stops. And good job by Jennison to go straight up again on the dribble drive with Showquist. Wolfile far side. Checks off to Bigelow. Waiting for a screen. Jennison needs to... Well, they really need to let him set up first. And then reaching from behind, Schaefer poked the ball away. And now they're going to get Bigelow on the reach. Walking it up is Schaefer after that foul on Bigelow. That'd be his second. Komets first. Schaefer. And kick over to the far side, Showquist. Rotating around, Schaefer on the wing. Back to this near corner for Audie, and then resets. Pass out on the perimeter for now for the Cannon Falls Bombers. Skip pass over the far side, Showquist. Good closeout by Jennison, not allowing him to shoot. Schaefer gets to the circle and then comes all the way in with a left-handed layup. Knifing his way through the defense of the Komets. Bigelow on the wing. Three-pointer by Jace Bigelow. Bigelow hits the 3, 43-34. Kasson Mantorville down by 9. Cannon Falls with the basketball in their black jerseys and white lettering. Showquist back to the jump circle with Schaefer. You wonder how long possession that Cannon Falls will take with the lead of 9. Dribbling on the baseline, they kick it back out, and Dickey takes a three-pointer. Bigelow not there for the defensive rebound. Audie had him sealed out. Bigelow at the free throw line. Now trying to drive all the way in. Kiss off the backboard. It's no good. A couple guys get it away from Dickey, but it ends up all the way down in the layup for Marcus Banks. Komets with Bigelow. Passes it off. And Noel just saved it. And Coach Pocius was calling for a timeout anyway. I think they thought there was an inadvertent whistle. It's a 30-second timeout by the Komets, 47-34, 13:39 as the clock stops. Second half, Komets trailing. Coach Pocious and I have had numerous conversations about what the Komets need to do. We've talked about the inconsistency on the offensive side and how that has gained some momentum. Right now, they really have to clamp down defensively, though. That's where it has to start. Down by 13. Had a little mini run there. Had it down to 10. Kern back in for the Komets. So Noel, Jennison, Bigelow, Kern, and Claypool. Now, they'll clear out. Jennison might have a one-on-one chance down there with Dickey. Noel won't take the screen. That comes back off the Claypool. Jennison trying to give a screen. Claypool to the corner. Did not want to pick up the basketball there. Nowhere to go. Finds Kern over the far side. Kern going to launch the three. No good. That one might actually hit the pole up top. They didn't call it out of bounds, though, so play continues. Bombers nearing half court for Schaefer. Bounce pass inside to Audie, and he rotates around using the hoop to keep Jennison away from blocking his shot. Claypool over the far side to Kern. Kern dribbles a couple times with his right, then everybody leaves him. High post pass to Jennison. Double comes. Schaefer fell down. Noel was a little late going at him. Back to Jennison, driving all the way with his left hand, and he scores. Jennison sneaking that arm underneath Dickey for the layup at 2, 49-36. Komets still down by 13. And far side Shoquist looking for some cutters. Nothing is really open. Bombers not forcing any action. Coach Davidson should be pretty pleased with how his team has showed patience on offense. Jennison almost snagged a steal. Instead, that ball goes out of bounds. Sandino and Carter Nelson in. Claypool and Jennison out. So does Holacek in for Noel. Couple of substitutions for the Bombers. They bring Nick Moltina back in. And the other one is Grant Meck. Out is Banks and Dickey. Corner pass to Moltina. And Audie dribbles off to Schaefer. At the jump circle. Comes all the way to the circle. And back out. Kern was a little late to gamble. Meck dribbling past him. And Sandino, they're going to call a foul on him. Free throws coming for Grant Meck, who doesn't have a point. He does now. A foul on Sandino was his first. Team second. No fouls on Cannon Falls. Played 6 and 30 seconds. Both of them good for Grant Meck, making it 51-38. 36. 51-36. Kasson with the basketball, needing a bucket badly. Holacek over to the far side, dribbling on the baseline, had to pass it back out. Carter Nelson, who doesn't have a shot attempt yet. Back off, and Holacek at the free throw line. Comfortable shot for him, and he scores 2. So Holacek for the 2. Driving in and then kicking the corner. Shoquist, that was actually off the back, or no, I'm sorry, that was Audie, and that was actually off the backboard. Schaefer drives all the way in. Moltina wrap around, that's no good either. Picked up by Mantorville. And an outlet pass comes all the way to Bigelow, now to Kern on the wing. Far side, Nelson to Holacek, who just scored the 2. Can he do it again? Free throw line, he got open. No good though. Wanted back-to-back from the same spot. Instead, Cannon Falls with the defensive rebound. 51-38, they lead. Schaefer, kick back out to Audie. On the right wing, Shoquist. Good defense by Nelson. Carter Nelson, they're going to say too much on the body. Tyler Wolfile coming in. Sandino out. Probably going to change the matchup a little bit. And everybody leaves open. Shoquist, shot is no good. Backside rebound for Audie, though. And Cannon Falls, I can hear Coach Posha saying, you got to move. A deep three-pointer for Audie is no good. Kern there for the rebound. So Kasson Mantorville does get a stop. Couple of chances for Cannon Falls. Bigelow on a hesitation dribble. Comes to the corner. Goes all the way in. Left-handed layup. Too strong. Stayed with it. And he manages the steal. Pass out Wolfile. And that foul is going to come on Grant Mack. His second. Team's first. Out are Shoquist and Audie. Dickey back in. So is Marcus Banks for Cannon Falls. Couple of substitutions by both teams. Not reaching too deep into the bench for either one of them. Holacek on the outside. Right to Wolfile. Over to Nelson. Didn't quite catch it clean. Now Kern to the corner. Backs off. Hands it to Knoll. Carter. Far side Knoll. Nothing really open. This is pretty good team defense. Now Nelson gets open for a three-pointer in the corner. It is no good. Picked up by Schaefer. Schaefer rotating down with his left hand, and he is out of bounds on the block by Wolfile. Inbounding is Schaefer. Outside to Banks, top of the key. Right back over to Schaefer on the wing. Komets sitting more in a 2-3 zone, but nobody stayed inside. Wolfile on the block, though. Kern bringing the basketball down. Hands off to Holacek. Wolfile, far side Knoll. Somebody's got to take some shots, though, for Kasson Mantorville. Don't have Bigelow out right now. Nelson. Knoll. Back over to Kern. Wolfile, top of the key. Three-pointer. He'll take it. Tremendous for Tyler Wolfile. Oh, the Cannon Falls kids love that one. I heard them. Rotating it around to Banks. 51-41. Kasson Mantorville trailing by 10. Schaefer with the touch, high post. That's where you want to go with the 2-3 zone. It's a good setup by Dickey. A three-pointer answered over on the far side by Marcus Banks. We have a timeout by Cannon Falls. 54-41, 7:55. It's only a 30-second timeout, though. Oh, 54-41. 7:55. As I said, the clock stops. So Kasson Mantorville, after falling to Cannon Falls the first time that they played, 64-53. Going back last year, Cannon Falls beat Kasson Mantorville. Just one matchup between the two, 53-51. And the Komets won in this facility back in 2017-18, 51-38. So there's the history between these two Hiawatha Valley teams. This year I know that they made kind of a change to the standings, and that's what why there was only one matchup last year. Now there's two. They're on the same side. They weren't last year. Easton Knoll brings it across. With Bigelow, Jennison, Wolfile, Holacek. Those are the five on the floor for the Komets in their white jerseys. Knoll got loose inside, then had to get it back out. Holacek with a shot over two. Can't quite find it. Jennison neither could he for the offensive rebound, and that's a travel. As Dickey gaining possession really shuffled his puppies. 54-41, so a turnover. Moved his feet about three different ways. Wolfile just hit a three-pointer prior to that timeout. Passes to Jennison, and it's out of bounds off of his left fingertips. And Jennison looked right back at Coach Poshus, and he had nothing for him. Knew it was his fault. Banks calls out a play from Coach Davison. Far side driving in, Shoquist, who had a 16 in the first half. He's been quiet since. I believe he's only had the 2. Drive in, then back to Shoquist. Boltina got all the way inside the paint. And then a Holacek. I'm not sure what Holacek did. He must have got the arm on a half-hearted swipe of the ball, 54-41. It was, Boltina was shying at my vantage point, so I couldn't really see. And get it off the Shoquist over on the far side. And it's Wolfile down on the floor. Back up to Bigelow. Bigelow on the layup. It's good. Jace Bigelow. Bigelow's got 18. And the Komets have it to 11, 54-43. I wonder if the Komets will try to start trapping if they do pick up the basketball down by the sideline. Right now it's Banks dribbling in. Jennison cuts him off at the pass. Come back out to Dickey and then reset everything with Boltina. Far side, no back. Well, the backdoor cut wasn't quite there. Pass was behind Meck and he ends up with it. And they'll say out of bounds. Coach Davison gives Bigelow a slap on the back. Jennison, high post. Oh, he almost traveled. Back out, Holacek. And reaching in is Marcus Banks. Really trying to cut off Bigelow on that. 5:38 to play, second half. 54-43, Komets trail. Bigelow really needs to get this ball out. Now he does to Jennison. You can't see him, but he'll come across your screen in just a second over on this near side. Off to Bigelow. Bigelow, hesitation dribble. Boy, if he can start to find that mid-range game at the elbow or a little bit before it. Schaefer is so crafty with his reach. Pass into the corner to Holacek. Now Bigelow. Inside, and he flips it up. I don't know if Bigelow even saw the hoop. If he did, it was maybe the corner of the box. Schaefer getting all the way in, back out the Banks. Komets in man-to-man defense. Closing the gap to 9. Schaefer with his left-handed dribble. That's so hard to defend, too. You're just not used to a left-hander. He's crafty. 9 points for Schaefer. Back to 11 for Cannon Falls. Komets have made a change with Hallstrom playing. Hallstrom's number 30. Bigelow at the elbow, back over to Hallstrom. Komets did win the JV game, should mention that. They won by about 20. And Hallstrom moved prior to getting that basketball. That's what ended up causing the travel. 56-45, some nervous fans here for Kasson Mantorville, and I forgot to switch the camera. Sorry about that. Jennison on the body contact with Audie, and that will be on Jennison. Thank you to those that are tuning in here on KM Activities, your home for the Komets. More Komet basketball coming up tomorrow. That showcase at 7 p.m. We'll have wrestling for you around 1:30, somewhere around there. Audie misses a free throw. That's been a rare thing for Cannon Falls tonight. To halftime, they're at 11 for 12 at the free throw line. More substitutions. Holacek and Jennison out. Noel and Wolfile in. And that one's second one is through for Audie. 57-45. Hallstrom back out. Now he's fouled. A foul on Rhett Schaefer. Bigelow, that ball was actually touched by Banks before it got there, and Bigelow had to get into a whole crowd, and it comes out over on the far side. Banks with the layup. Claypool over the far side to Wolfile. Wolfile, the hesitation now, trying to go all the way in. Shot was no good, and Bigelow trying to save. I think he's out on the sideline, or on the end line. Just one substitution as Grant Meck comes back in. Komets going to put on the full court press. 59-45, they trail. And all the way up ahead, Meck going to just go in and get a layup. So Grant Meck scores. The Komets are running out of time. 3 minutes, Bigelow. Over to Wolfile, back to Bigelow. Will take a deep three-pointer, no good. Rebound, Knoll. And they're going to Easton Knoll on an offensive foul. Knoll with the push-off on that offensive rebound. That's what they're going to call. And Schaefer breaking the press. Down on the layup is good for Audie. And the Komets trying to put on that press. And now it's ballooned to 18 with 3 minutes left. Claypool over to Bigelow. He'll take another three-pointer. No good. Backside rebound. Hallstrom, no good. Bigelow trying to save. And it is out of bounds. Stays with the Komets. Knoll throws it out quarter court to Claypool. Hallstrom hands off to Bigelow, far side. Nobody really cutting in the middle, though. That's where you want to go. Wolfile back over to Knoll. Screen by Wolfile, and that freed him up for a layup. He misses the first one. He's blocked by Audie on the second one, and then they'll call it out of bounds. Off of Kasson Mantorville. 2:28 to go. Sundquist breaking the press. Good play by Easton Knoll not to give up the layup. Got his hands up. But it's 63-45, and clock not on the Komet side. Just 2:24 left as Hallstrom comes out. Holacek back in. At halftime, this was a 14-point basketball game, and Cannon Falls and Kasson Mantorville went pretty much toe-to-toe on a backdoor cut. No good for Shoquist. Claypool bringing it up ahead to Knoll in the corner. Wolfile going to look at a three. Yes, sir! So Tyler Wolfile. Wolfile tonight's got 14. And we have a timeout taken. It is it a full? It is. We'll take one timeout as well. Then we'll come right back after a message from Bigelow Homes.
Tradition and excellence are the staple of every project constructed by Bigelow Homes. Jeremy, Joel, Tony, and the rest of the crew deliver homes with innovative and affordable design, building around you and your needs. Bigelow Homes will design and build the home of your dreams with peace of mind and personal touch. Based out of Rochester, Bigelow Homes has housing developments in 10 different communities. Find out what makes Bigelow Homes special by calling 507-529-1161 or visit online at bigelowhomes.net.
$63-48. Thank you again to Bigelow Homes for being our major sponsor for all activities taking place here on KM Activities. More for you tomorrow with wrestling and basketball next week. Oh boy, there's a whole host of things we got going on next week. I can't remember my whole schedule, but I know we got a lot for you. Monday we'll have more interviews. Wednesday more interviews. Tuesday night, I can't remember. It's more sports, I can tell you that. As they're getting across the timeline is Shoquist, Banks. I got to tell you, probably Schaefer's probably been the kid that I've been most impressed with, and he's right there again. He's got 11, 6 in the second half. He's been an impressive player. Holacek trying to answer on the other side. He can't. And we have a foul on Easton Knoll reaching in. Will that be the 7th? Do we take a stroll? We do. And we go from one end all the way to the other. And Schaefer's at the foul line. He had 5 in the first half. And he's really, sorry about that. He's really broken down the defense of the Kasson Komets. Tyler Kuyat in, Knoll and Bigelow going to sub out. I'll probably end the night for Bigelow. So he finishes with 20 for Bigelow. Knoll ends up with no points. He did take 1 shot. Schaefer puts through both. And that'll about seal it for the Bombers. They're going to bring in some more of their guys too. Some of their JV players and whatnot. So Anderson Rosebear. Also Danny Safe in. Flom come in. Now Holstrom all the way for a 2. Better be watching Jake Holstrom because I think this kid, freshman, he's got a good head on his shoulders. And driving all the way in, and foul going to be called on the Komets. They're down 17, 67 to 50. Now you see some of the improvement that these kids are going through for the program. That JV squad. Meck is at the line for 2. The foul was on Mason Flom. There's another guy. I like his post work. Some of these young kids are going to really step up for Kasson. May not be this year. I'm betting it'll be a lot of Flom and Holstrom next year, though. No good on the second one. Up to Kyler Kuyat. Kuyat driving all the way, and he's short-armed his layup. No good, and the rebound Price safe. Kasson, it's a minute left. 67 to 50, they are down. Also McAdam in. Needs another one. We got a substitution just for a sub. Grant Meck out. Are the Komets actually going to take it, or are they just... It was just a substitution. Timeout. So Banks with 16. Oh, no, 14 for Banks. Add up things quickly for the Bombers. They'll inbound. Schaefer ends with 13. Audi, 18. That one lost, and Claypool there. Sorry, not calling much of the action just because I'm trying to get the starters done for both teams. So they keep Shoquist with nothing in the second half, and 2 for Dickey as well. So the high goes to Audi with 18. 20 for Bigelow, he had the team high. And the game high, actually. For Tyler Wolfile, he had a pretty nice game. He ends up with 14 on the night. And Holacek down for the layup, it's good. But that'll be pretty much it. Holacek on the layup. He'll finish with 4. But the Komets will fall tonight 67 to 52. And that'll be the final score. 67 to 52. So highs tonight, 20 for Bigelow and then 14 for Tyler Wolfile. Jennison finishes with 4. Holacek, as I said, 4. Claypool is 5. And for the Kasson Komets, they'll fall to 7 and 9 on the season. And they are 2 and 6 in the conference. Cannon Falls 11 and 7. They're 3 and 6 in the Hiawatha Valley. For Cannon Falls, they'll go at Byron on February 3rd. And as I said, the showcase, KM Komet Showcase tomorrow. New Ulm will be who the Komets play, and we'll have that one for you at 7 o'clock. New Ulm, I did a little research on them. They've struggled as well, so we'll see if the Komets can get a turnaround and get a W tomorrow at Home Federal Arena. Thank you very much for tuning in here tonight on KM Activities, your home for the Komets. Wrestling will start around 1:30 as the Komets will battle St. Michael Albertville in Owatonna. That'll be tomorrow afternoon's broadcast, followed by the Komets taking on the Owatonna wrestling team in their second duel of the day. Thank you very much for tuning in here at KM Activities. I'm Joel McCall bidding you farewell from Cannon Falls. Komets lose tonight 67-52. Good night.